Most people think choosing between a male or female cat is just a cute little preference. Blue collar or pink collar, playful boy or graceful girl. But science tells a very different story. Choose without understanding this difference. And you don't just bring home a pet. You quietly sign up for a 10 to 15-year relationship with an animal whose instincts, emotional wiring, and social expectations may be completely different from what you imagined. And that's where many cat owners get confused. Because male and female cats aren't simply different in personality or energy level. They're different at a biological level. Different survival strategies. Different social instincts. Different ways of bonding with humans. A male cat's brain evolved to roam, form loose alliances, and seek safety through familiarity. A female cat's brain evolved to protect territory, assess risk carefully, and invest deeply but selectively in relationships. That means affection doesn't show up the same way. Trust isn't earned the same way, and loyalty is expressed through very different behaviors. This is why one cat follows you from room to room like a shadow, while another loves you deeply. From across the couch. Why one melts into your arms and the other watches quietly, deciding when closeness feels right. To truly understand feline affection, we have to stop projecting human emotions onto cats and start paying attention to what evolution actually programmed into them. Once you do, everything makes sense. Their boundaries, their devotion, and the quiet ways they choose you. The biological operating systems. Let's talk about this. Here's something most people don't realize. Male and female cats didn't just end up acting differently by chance. They actually evolved under two totally different survival pressures. You can think of it like they're running two different operating systems. Male cats were designed for territorial expansion. In the wild, their job was pretty straightforward. Be strong, show presence, push boundaries, and claim space. That wiring didn't disappear just because your cat now lives indoors. It just adjusted. So instead of guarding acres of territory, your neutered male cat follows you everywhere. Bathroom? He's there. Kitchen? Right behind you. Bed? On your chest. And those aggressive headbutts? Yeah, those are on purpose. Here's the thing most people get wrong. That behavior isn't clingy or needy. It's bonding. Once mating and fighting instincts calm down, a male cat doesn't stop needing a social structure. He simply redirects it. Now, female cats? Totally different mindset. Even after being spayed, their brains stay locked into environmental control mode. In feline groups, females handle the most important job of all, keeping the nest safe. That means noticing everything, evaluating every sound, deciding what's safe before it becomes obvious. So when your female cat sits across the room instead of on your lap, chooses the high shelf, disappears when guests come over, she's not being distant, she's working. Her loyalty doesn't look like constant closeness. It looks like awareness, observation, control. Where a male cat says, "I'm with you all the time." A female cat says, "I'm watching everything, so we're okay." Different styles, same devotion, and once you see it that way, you stop wondering why your cat loves you less or more, and start realizing they've been loving you deeply the entire time. This is where most cat owners really get it wrong. We tend to assume the most affectionate cat is the most loyal. The one that's always glued to us, always nearby, always touching. But when you look at the science, constant presence doesn't always mean loyalty. Sometimes, it just means social dependency. A male cat who follows you everywhere may be reinforcing his place in the social structure. He's checking in, staying aligned, making sure the bond stays solid. That's not a bad thing, but it's not the whole picture. Now, look at the female cat who confidently gets up and leaves the room. That behavior often reflects something called the secure base effect. In simple terms, she trusts you enough to go do her own thing. She knows the environment is stable. She knows you're reliable. She knows she doesn't need to monitor you constantly. That's not rejection. That's trust. And here's the part most people miss. When a female cat finally chooses to sit with you, Not because you picked her up, not because she felt cornered, not because she had nowhere else to go, but because she decided to. That moment means something special. It's not casual affection, it's not convenience. It's the voluntary shutdown of a predator's defense system, a conscious choice to lower vigilance, to give up control, to be vulnerable. And in the feline world, that level of trust is rare. That's loyalty, quiet, intentional, and deeply earned. The fatal mistakes and how they happen. This is where good intentions quietly turn into problems. Most owners don't mean to fail their cats, they just misunderstand what each one actually needs. Male cats get pushed away a lot. They're called needy, clingy, too much. So owners ignore them, brush them off, or assume they'll figure it out. But for a male cat, regular social contact isn't optional, it's stability. When his need for predictable bonding is denied, his brain reads it as something serious. Instability in the social coalition. And that triggers stress responses. Stress hormones rise. The body stays on edge. Over time, that kind of chronic stress doesn't just affect mood, it can shorten lifespan. He's not asking for attention because he's weak. He's asking because connection is how his nervous system stays regulated. Female cats are failed in the opposite way. They're forced into affection, picked up when they're clearly seeking height, pulled into hugs when they're trying to keep control of the environment. To a female cat, that sudden loss of control doesn't feel like love. It feels like predation. Her brain goes into defense mode. Freeze, swat, hiss, escape. And once that happens, trust erodes. Not because she's difficult, but because her boundaries weren't respected. The real solution. The answer isn't more affection, it's better affection. Give male cats predictable bonding, daily check-ins, consistent play, reliable closeness. Give female cats choice. Let them approach. Let them leave. Let them decide when closeness feels safe. Respect builds trust. Trust builds loyalty. And when you meet cats on their terms, they don't pull away. They choose you. Loyalty has a physical cost. Let's talk about the part people don't see. This isn't just about behavior, and it's definitely not all in their head. For cats, emotions don't stay emotional, they show up in the body. Male cats, especially, don't handle stress quietly. When their emotional needs aren't met, it doesn't just affect their mood, it affects their health. Things like urinary blockages, inflammation, and yes, even shorter lifespans. For male cats, stress is a full-body experience. That's why routines matter so much to them. Regular play, predictable bonding, knowing they belong. When that sense of stability disappears, their nervous system stays on high alert. And over time, their body pays the price. He's not being dramatic. He's biologically sensitive to disruption. Female cats carry different risks. They're more likely to struggle with weight gain, joint strain, and slow-building discomfort. But here's the tricky part. Female cats are very good at pretending everything's fine. That's not stubbornness. That's survival. They evolved to hide weakness because showing it once meant becoming a target. So pain gets masked, discomfort gets managed quietly, and problems often stay invisible until they're advanced. By the time you notice something's wrong, she's usually been dealing with it for a while. If this changed the way you see your cat, hit the like button so more people can learn what their cats are really saying. And if you want to go deeper, the next video YouTube recommends. After this one breaks down another everyday cat behavior most owners completely misunderstand. And it'll pop up on your screen automatically. Until then, watch your cat a little closer tonight. They might already be showing you their version of loyalty.